Hi, welcome back to C++ programming tutorial. In this video, we will understand what are constructors, what are the type of constructors, and how to use constructors in C++ programs. Constructors are a special class of functions which perform initialization to every object. That is, whenever you create an object, the members of that particular object are initialized with the help of constructors. The compiler calls the constructor whenever an object is created. The constructors initialize values to data members after storage is allocated to the object. While defining a constructor, you must remember that the name of the constructor will be same as the name of the class, and constructor never return any type. Constructors can be defined either inside the class or outside the class. If you define the constructor outside the class, you need to use the scope resolution operator. There are four types of constructors in C++: default constructor, parameterized constructor, copy constructor, and explicit constructor. Now we will see one by one with simple programming example. Default constructor is the constructor which does not take any argument. That is, whenever you create a constructor and if you don't pass any parameters, the meaning of that one is that is the default constructor. The syntax looks something like this. The class name will be the name of the constructor. It doesn't accept any parameter here, and this is the constructor definition. Here you can initialize all the data members. This is a simple program which will demonstrate the default constructor. Initially I have defined this is the simple program which will demonstrate the use of default constructor. First we will include the IO stream, that is the header file. Then we will use the standard namespace which include all the libraries of C++. Next I have created a class. The name of the class is area rect in this case. That is, I want to calculate the area of a rectangle. That's the reason I have kept the name as area rect here. To calculate the area of a rectangle, we need two things. One is the height and width. So I will create two the data members. One is h and one more is w. Both of them are integer type. Now whenever you create an object of this area rect, I want to initialize these two values, that is height and width here. So within a public section I have written a constructor. You can notice the name of the constructor is the name of the class. It doesn't accept any parameter. Also it does not return any type here. We should not write void also. This is the constructor definition. Within the constructor definition, all the data members are initialized. The first data member is h, which is initialized to 0. The second one is w, which is initialized to 0. You can put any initial values over here. Next we have defined one member function. The name of the member function is area here, which will return the integer type. In this case I have read the two things: the height of the rectangle into h, width of the rectangle in w, and then we have returned w into h or h into w here. That is the area of a rectangle. Now coming back to main program. In the main program we have declared one result variable which is of type integer, which will store the return value of area. Next we have created an object. The name of the object is a1. Whenever you create an object, the constructor will be called. In this case we are not passing any parameter to a1, so default constructor will be called. In default constructor we have initialized the data members, that is h and w, to 0, which means that a1.h is 0, a1.w is 0 in this case. Next we will call the a1.area, that is the member function area. It will go, the control will go to this particular function, and then it will ask user to enter the height. It will be stored in h. Next user is asked to enter the width. It will be stored in w. The h multiplied by w will be returned and it will be stored into result here. Now we will display that particular result, that is area of a rectangle is result in this case. So based on the value you read for h and w, the output will be displayed here. But the main part you need to remember is whenever you create an object, that is a1, the data members are initialized to the initial values like 0, 0 in this case. Now we will see the second the constructor, that is parameterized constructor. These are the constructors with parameters. There is no difference between default and parameterized constructor except the parameterized constructors accept the parameters. Using these constructors, you can provide different values to the members of different objects by passing appropriate values as arguments. That is, when it comes to the default constructor, anytime you create an object, it may be A1, A2, A3, every time all the data members are initialized to 0, 0 in this case. But if you want to initialize 0, 0 for A1, for second object you want to have 10 and 20, for third object if you want to have 30 and 40, it is not possible with respect to default constructor. So in parameterized constructor, based on your requirement, you can pass the values here. The syntax looks something like this. The class name, we pass some parameters here, and here we define the constructor. Usually we initialize all the data members in this case. Now we will take one very simple program to understand the parameterized constructor in C++. If you notice, whatever the program we have written in the previous case, the same program we have considered up to here. Here we have defined two private members, that's the data members H and W. This is the default constructor. Whenever you create an object with no arguments, the H will be initialized to 0 and W will be initialized to 0 here. This is the parameterized constructor because we are passing two parameters in this case. Both of them are integer in this case. So whatever the parameter you pass, that will be stored into X and Y. The value of X will be stored into X and the value of Y will be stored into W in this case. This is the member function area, which will return you the multiplication of H and W, that is nothing but the area of a rectangle here. Now coming back to the main part of the program, we have declared one variable, that is the result, to store the return value of area. We have created an object called as A1 here. Next, that A1 we are not passing any arguments here, hence a default constructor will be called. The H and W will be initialized to 0, 0. Now whenever you call A1.area, the value of H is 0, the value of W is 0, so the result will be 0 here. So the area of rectangle is 0 in this case. Now coming back to the next one, in this case I am creating an object A2, but I am passing two parameters here. Depending on the number of parameters and the type of parameters, parameterized constructor will be called here. In this case I am passing two parameters, both of them are integer, hence this constructor will be called. The value of X is 10, the value of Y is 20, so 10 will be stored into H and 20 will be stored into W here. So whenever I call A2.area, H will be 10, W will be 20, 10 into 20 is 200, the result will be 200, the area of rectangle is 200 in this case. So this is how you can write the parameterized constructor. Coming back to the next one, that is copy constructor. Copy constructor is a special type of constructor in which new object is created as a copy of an existing object. So you have an object and you want to create a copy of that object, you can use copy constructor. The copy constructor is called whenever a new variable is created from an object. So that is when the copy constructor will be called. So this is the syntax of copy constructor. A class name, we will pass one argument to this particular copy constructor, that is an object over here. So the class name is the type and its reference will be the parameter in this case. Here we will be having the constructor definition. Now we will take one very simple example to understand the copy constructor here. So what we did in this case is the same example we have taken till here. We have created two data members H and W. This is the default constructor, but in default constructor we have set the value of H and W to 10, 10 in this case. Now we have created one copy constructor here. So what this copy constructor does is it will accept one object of the same class. So here area rect is the class name and this is the object. We are passing an object here. The value of this object will be copied into new object. So what are the values we have here? The value is H and W we have. So the value of H, the old object's H, will be stored into new object here. Similarly, the value of W with respect to the old object is stored into new value here. Now in this case we have created one member function called as area, which will return you the multiplication of H and W, that is nothing but area of a rectangle here. Now coming back to the main part, we have declared one variable called as result, and then we have created an object that is called as A1. Because A1 is not accepting any parameter, or we are not passing any parameter, a default constructor will be called, and H will be set to 10, W will be set to 10 in this case. Now A1.area will be called. A1.area is nothing but the value of H and the W will be considered from A1. H is 10, W is 10, 10 into 10 is 100, so the output of this line will be 100 in this case. Now the very important part is this line. What we are doing here is we are creating an object A2, but we are passing A1. A1 is an object here. So a copy constructor will be called here. This A1 will be copied into obj. Now obj.h, what is the value of A1.h we have? That is 10. That is nothing but obj.h, which will be copied into h here. So this h, the new h, is also 10. And obj.w, again we have 10 here, so 10 will be copied into w. So h is 10, w is 10 with respect to A2 object. Now A2.area, again it will return you 100 in this case. So what we did here is we have copied A1 into A2 here. That is what the meaning of copy constructor. Now coming back to the last type of constructor, that is explicit constructor. In C++, compiler is allowed to make one-time type conversion to resolve the parameters to functions. In C++, a constructor with only one required parameter is considered as an implicit conversion function. It converts the parameter type to the class type. That is, if you have only one parameters to the constructor, then that will be implicitly converted to the class type. Prefixing explicit keyword prevents the constructor from using implicit conversion. So if you don't want that implicit conversion to take place, what you can do is you can prefix explicit to that particular constructor here. So this is the syntax for that particular explicit constructor. Explicit keyword followed by class name and then the parameters here. This is the constructor definition. So how many parameters it is expecting? It should be only one parameter. If you have more than one parameter, you cannot use explicit constructors in that case. This is a simple example for explicit constructor. We have included the IO stream and then the standard namespace is used here. A class test is created with one data member called as VAL, and then we have created one, what is that called as the constructor. That's a parameterized constructor, you can say. It will accept one parameter that is int x, that's an integer type. That x will be set to the val, that is a data member in this case. After that we have written one member function which will display the value of that particular the data member, that is VAL here. Now coming back to the main part, in main part we are creating an object here. The name of the object is T1 and we are passing 10 as a parameter. Now whenever you pass 10 as a parameter, the 10 is integer and T1 is an object. So what happens is implicitly this 10 is converted into what we can say that object, and that 10 will be stored into VAL. That is a different issue because this is the one parameter we are passing. So this parameterized constructor will be called and x will be stored into val. At the same time 10 is converted into object here. So that is possible. Implicitly it will happen in C++. But for some reason, if you don't want that to happen, that is the implicit type conversion should not happen, what you can do here is you can mention explicit keyword here. If I mention explicit keyword over here, what happens is whenever I try to convert from an integer to object, it will prevent that particular thing and it will give you a compile time error saying that the type conversion is not possible or implicit type conversion is not possible. So that is the use of explicit keyword over here. With the help of explicit, a constructor is prevented from converting a value into an object here. So that is the use of explicit constructor. So in this video we have seen what are constructors in C++, what are the types of constructor in C++, how to use those particular constructor in C++ with a simple programming example. I hope this video will help you for your academic preparation. If you like the video, do like and share with your friends. Press the subscribe button for more videos. Press the bell icon for regular updates.